Opening. In the labyrinth of love, some paths are shrouded in shadow. Closing. Let's shed light on love bombing. Picture this scenario. You've just met someone who showers you with compliments, making you feel like the most extraordinary person in the world. The flattery is lavish, the praise is exaggerated, and you're basking in this newfound adoration. It's as if they've taken a magnifying glass to your worth, and every splendid detail is being applauded. You're feeling special, cherished, and seen like never before. However, what you might not realize is that this could be a manipulative tactic, often employed in toxic relationships. This excessive flattery, while seemingly charming and endearing, is actually a calculated move to make you feel adored and special. It's a strategy designed to make you feel indebted to the flatterer, to make you crave their approval and validation. This method of manipulation is known as love bombing, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. That's what we call excessive flattery, the first component of love bombing. Imagine being the center of someone's world. Imagine every ping of your phone, every knock on your door, every message in your inbox is from the same person. They're always there, always checking in, always wanting to know how you're doing, what you're thinking, who you're with. It's like a constant stream of attention, a barrage of affection that leaves you little room to breathe, let alone think. It's like being caught in a whirlwind, a cyclone of concern and care that sweeps you off your feet and makes it impossible to focus on anything else. You're constantly being drawn into their world, their narrative, their needs. It's overwhelming, it's intoxicating, it's suffocating, and it's all by design. This relentless attention, this constant contact is not about care or concern, it's about control. That, my friends, is the second component of love bombing, overwhelming attention. Ever received a gift that felt like too much, too soon? This is a common tactic used by love bombers. They may present you with extravagant gifts or tokens of affection early in the relationship, sometimes even on a first date. These aren't just your typical thoughtful presents. These gifts are often over the top, lavish, and can make you feel uncomfortable or pressured. They serve a dual purpose. On one hand, they make the recipient feel special, loved, and cherished. On the other hand, they subtly create a sense of obligation and indebtedness. This feeling of owing something back to the giver can make it even harder to break free from a potentially toxic relationship. It's important to remember that real love isn't about material possessions or grand gestures. Genuine affection should never make you feel indebted or coerced. This is the third component of love bombing, gift giving. Ever found yourself in a relationship that moved too fast? That's the fourth component of love bombing, a phenomenon known as rapid escalation. Imagine this. You've just met someone, and within no time, they're declaring their undying love for you, making plans for a shared future. It's a whirlwind, isn't it? It's like being on a high-speed train with no brakes. This swift progression can be exhilarating and deeply romantic, making you feel as though you've finally found your soulmate. But this is often a manipulative tactic, designed to sweep you off your feet before you've had a chance to truly know them or assess the relationship. Declarations of love and commitment come far sooner than usual, with the love bomber pushing for exclusivity, cohabitation, or even marriage within weeks or months of meeting. This speed can be disorienting and confusing, making it hard to recognize the potential dangers. This is the fourth component of love bombing, rapid escalation. Ever felt like you were put on a pedestal? That's the essence of the fifth component in love bombing, idealization. In this phase, love bombers portray their targets as perfect. They make you feel like you're the only person in the world who matters, the only one who can meet their needs or fulfill their desires. They paint a picture of you that's flawless, unblemished, and utterly impeccable. It's like you're a masterpiece in an art gallery, praised and admired for your unique qualities. But remember, it's an illusion, a mirage. The pedestal is high, and falling off can be painful. The problem with being idealized is that it creates unrealistic expectations. No one can be perfect all the time. When we fail to meet these inflated expectations, it can lead to disappointment, conflict, and even the end of the relationship. This is the fifth component of love bombing, idealization. Ever felt like someone was trying to distance you from your loved ones? That's a classic isolation tactic used by love bombers. They subtly steer you away from your friends and family, creating an environment where they are your primary source of validation and support. This dependency gives them immense control over your emotions and decisions. They might convince you that your friends are not good enough, or that your family doesn't understand you like they do. The reasons may seem plausible, making it hard for you to question their intentions. But remember, healthy relationships don't require you to sacrifice your other connections. Isolation is a potent tool in a love bomber's arsenal. It can leave you feeling vulnerable and alone, making it easier for them to manipulate you further. This is the sixth component of love bombing: isolation. Ever felt like you were being manipulated? In the context of love bombing, manipulative behavior is a cornerstone. Love bombers are adept at pulling the strings, using tactics such as guilt tripping or emotional blackmail to maintain control. They might make the target feel guilty for not reciprocating their overwhelming affection or for wanting to spend time with others. Emotional blackmail could come in the form of threats or ultimatums, often designed to make the target feel like they're in the wrong, even when they aren't. These tactics serve to create a power imbalance, with the love bomber positioned as the one in control. It's a cunning and often subtle strategy, but once you're aware of it, you can start to recognize and resist it. This is the seventh component of love bombing: manipulative behavior. Ever met someone who seemed to be just like you? This uncanny similarity may not always be a sign of soulmate serendipity. It could be a tactic known as mirroring, often employed by love bombers. Mirroring is when someone mimics or reflects your interests, beliefs, and values. They'll echo your political ideologies, mirror your taste in music, and even adopt your love for abstract art or foreign films. It's as if they've taken a deep dive into your soul, surfacing with a mirror image of your persona. But why do they do this? The answer is simple. By mirroring you, they create a false sense of compatibility, a mirage that you've found your perfect match. This deepens the emotional bond you feel, making you more susceptible to their influence and control. But remember, this is not genuine connection, but a calculated strategy. This is the eighth component of love bombing: mirroring. Ever been promised a future that seemed too good to be true? That's what we call future faking. It's a cunning ploy used by love bombers to keep you hooked and invested in the relationship. They'll paint a picture of an idyllic future together, filled with grand promises of marriage, starting a family, or perhaps a dream home. They might talk about growing old together, about the wonderful life you'll live side by side. It's a future that's rosy, perfect, and just around the corner. But here's the catch. It's a future that's unlikely to materialize. These promises are not rooted in reality, but in manipulation. They're designed to keep you hopeful, to keep you waiting for a tomorrow that never comes. They're designed to keep you emotionally tethered, making it all the more difficult for you to leave when things turn sour. This is the ninth component of love bombing: future faking. Ever been confused by someone's hot and cold behavior? This is a hallmark of love bombing, and it's called inconsistent behavior. Imagine being showered with affection one moment only to be met with cold indifference the next. This is a manipulative tactic designed to keep you off balance and uncertain about where you stand in the relationship. Inconsistent behavior is a powerful tool in the love bomber's arsenal, as it can create an emotional roller coaster that leaves the target feeling vulnerable and desperate for the love bomber's approval. The constant fluctuations between warmth and coldness can be emotionally exhausting, leading the target to question their own perception and even their self-worth. This inconsistency is not a sign of a healthy relationship. It's a calculated maneuver to maintain control and keep the target hooked. Understanding this pattern of behavior can help us recognize and avoid falling into the love bomber's trap. This is the 10th and final component of love bombing: inconsistent behavior. So what do all these components add up to? Imagine being caught in a whirlwind of intense emotions, where you're constantly showered with affection, praise, and gifts. This, coupled with the rapid escalation of the relationship and the idealization of your persona, can easily sweep you off your feet. But then, Isolation tactics come into play, cutting you off from your support system. Manipulative behaviors start to emerge and you find your interests, beliefs, and values being mirrored back at you, creating a false sense of compatibility. Grand promises about the future are made, further anchoring you into the relationship. But the inconsistency in behavior keeps you guessing, off balance, and uncertain about where you stand. These components collectively create an overwhelming experience, making it difficult to resist or see through, leading to emotional dependency on the love bomber. And there you have it, the 10 components of love bombing and their potential effects. Stay safe, stay informed.